The following program is brought to you by Rogers Multicultural Programming. Over 100 channels in more than 20 languages.
Welcome to Heart Matters. I'm your host, Visheka, and today I get to speak with one of the most incredible artists and dear colleague of mine, Louise Lalande. Louise founded and co-created a business model like I've seen no other called Spirited Women Collaborative. Today we're going to talk about a new way of doing business. Welcome to Heart Matters, Louise.
Hi, Visheka.
Thank you. So, this Spirited Women Collaborative, can you share your vision of how it came about?
It started last year at a women's conference where I felt there was such a wonderful energy. It was all mainly entrepreneurial women, and from that I think it was somewhat inspirational, but also there was an inner desire to be connected with women who had deeper intent in their life, in their business life, not just to be providing services, but providing services from the heart and being connected with spirit in a way that is not necessarily the same. We all have different ways of connecting with spirit, but something that's bigger than ourselves, that we realize that. And so I called one of the women that I had met and I said, wouldn't it be wonderful if we had a similar but smaller event where we had 10 women that were helping each other and supporting each other to have 10 workshops in 2010. So that was the beginning of the idea. And I sent out an invitation to about 25 people or so that I knew would be quite wonderful to collaborate with, all parallel businesses and services, and from dancing to working with sound to working with art and all sorts of different ways of growing. So we came together, and out of that started talking about what it was that we each were envisioning and the possibilities of that. And a group of about 10 people did stay together, and we have put together a wonderful lineup of workshops this fall. So it's been a really wonderful experience. But the inspiration, I guess, was being with other women who just had wonderful vision and the entrepreneurial spirit.
Mm-hmm. So share what an entrepreneurial spirit is to you.
Entrepreneurial spirit to me is someone who has great ideas, or even just an idea, but that is willing to dare to go and find out if that idea is going to work. And in that spirit, usually you find people that are really positive about what life is going to bring. Usually you don't just go for your dream if you think that it's not going to work right off the start, right?
Yes.
So that's the main quality I love about entrepreneurs, is that they are positive and hopeful, and they're usually very resourceful. They can figure out different ways, creative ways of getting around whatever blocks are in their way, and most of the time they achieve part of, or all of, or more than their vision was to start with. So it's willing to live, willing to be coming into the world the way that your aspirations are from the inside out.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like a great thing to be an entrepreneur. And how do you feel if everyone in the world were to be an entrepreneur? What do you think that would look like?
Oh, good. That's a big question. I think that we all are entrepreneurs of sorts, because we all, in one aspect or another in our lives, we want things from a deeper level. And we work toward that in all sorts of ways. Some of us are more daring in our personalities and are more able to, for a number of reasons. Some of them are very logistical, and some of them are emotional or other. Some of us have the ability and the access to go forward as an entrepreneur in business. Others are more rooted and need more steadfast energy in their life. So I don't think we can be all the same. I don't think that it would necessarily work as if we were all entrepreneurs, but I don't know how to answer that, really. I think it might be a wonderful world. It might be a world where everybody learns to collaborate because there's more at stake. It might be a world where people actually do live more from the heart because they're going to be doing things that matter more from them. It might be a world where people take opportunities to do things that aren't right because they can. I think that it wouldn't be that far off from the world that we have now.
Okay. And so Spirited Women Collaborative came together from, I understand, all entrepreneurs getting together and creating this beautiful vision with you. Can you share a little bit about the process and how it has come to be this far of where it's at in the whole manifestation process?
The process has been really wonderful. We've been getting together and discussing what is it that we each do, and then what is it that we would like to share with the world, and then what are the common links between that. And some of the common links are our resilience in the world, our responsibility toward others and to ourselves, our leadership qualities within ourselves, and how we can help others find those within. So finding the commonalities of the bigger themes of what we were teaching was really exciting. And then we had to come through some discussion to figure out some of the more logistical details. So when is this going to be? Where is it going to be? What facilities are needed to accommodate everyone? And so we just worked through that round table style where everybody got to share and everybody got to be heard. And not necessarily in a formal way. Often there would be some minutes or some thoughts and a list of things that needed to be followed up. And everybody jumped in at different times. And it's still a continuation of that.
Yeah, and it's wonderful to be a part of that process because I'm part of the team as well, which I'm honored, and thank you for inviting me for that. And so just the whole process is neat because we're all doing non-positional leading, and we all get to share our gifts. And it's interesting to see some of the process of the bigger questions coming about. Can you enlighten us, Louise, about some of those big questions that we had to ask as a team?
Well, some of the bigger questions were things like, what would you like the world to be? What would you like to share with the world? If we could do good in the world, what would that look like? If we could have a world that was ideal, where would that be, and how could we help? And then back to a smaller question like, how does that start? What is the first step in teaching and sharing our innate wisdom with others, and for them to access their own innate wisdom and creativity? So those are pretty big questions. What is your passion in life?
Yes, and those are definitely great questions for us as a team to come to, but also for the rest of the world to ask those kind of questions too in whatever they are doing. So
absolutely. Thank
you for sharing your wisdom, Louise, and we're going to take a quick pause. And coming up next on Heart Matters, we are going to talk about some of Louise's journeys in this whole process and what she has learned about herself. So stay tuned on Heart Matters. Welcome back to Heart Matters. I'm your host, Visheka. And earlier I was discussing with Louise the big questions of life. And now Louise is going to share some of her stories, her personal stories of how this new business model, Spirited Women Collaborative, has transformed her in certain ways. So, Louise, during the process of Spirited Women, what insights have you come to about yourself?
Probably numerous small insights. I think some of the bigger ones were one was the ability to share control. And that, because the intent with Spirited Women was to co-create something that came from a group, not only because of the energy that's different that brings, also the knowledge base is so different and so much more complete. But also when you're sharing, you share the responsibility. And so there's a lot of give in that, a lot of comfort to know that you're supported. I've had an architectural lighting business and Artist Way workshops and other facilitation things that I do on my own now for the last 15 years. And as wonderful as that journey has been, the ability to be part of a group that is doing something together and supporting one another, that has been really special. So for one, the learning that I don't have to be the leader doing everything on my own all the time, and allowing that to unfold and to talk about it even with the group and say, this is what I'm used to and I am a leader naturally, but I will, want and desire your help along the way. And then one of the other big things is just refining what my own dreams are, as this small-ish idea of putting a series of workshops together has come and is now in place and organized. What's next? And so we've started talking about, do we develop a network? People that we're talking about this project to are really interested in joining us, and there are all sorts of other wonderful women who have strong ideas and visions and that would be complementary to what we're doing. And so that evolution is quite a journey on its own. And how does each one of us fit in there? And not everybody is interested in becoming part of what we've been calling the fire keepers, so the core group that will evolve with time as this collaborative takes really a life of its own. So I've had to ask myself lots of questions about what is my role in that, and this was a great idea, 10 workshops for 2010, but what's beyond? And even though I really want to be part of that, how much of a leadership role do I want to play?
So have you come up with any answers?
Absolutely.
And what are they?
You're going to have to
knew
wait.
That was coming.
Well, I think what it's refined for me is that I definitely want to be part of that, but I definitely don't want to be the leader, which is a big surprise to me anyways.
Right.
And what my dream is really to be part of a group and to be part of the voice in that group, but not to have to be dealing with all of the details of how it functions and how it grows. I see myself in a big art studio teaching and sharing and having all sorts of workshops. That's where I have the most fun. And that's what I want to create, both for myself as a creative person, because I have so many different types of things that I do. I work with material sewing, making dolls, I paint, I take pictures, I make jewelry, I am a potter, a ceramic artist. So I love all of that, and it's not just the product that I love about it, it's the whole process. And this is what's really led me to ultimately to creating this group of women, or not creating it, but inviting it to come together, is the creative process in its own, and what we learn about ourselves and how we grow within that. And it really doesn't have to be hard work. Yes, we're going to have to face some things once in a while, but to be playing while we get to know what's really inside and what the wisdom of that really is all about. Because we do have that wisdom, we just don't take time to play very much as adults. So that's the opportunity that I want to provide for others and for myself in this big, wonderful, day-lit studio.
Cool. Well, I definitely hope that your dream does come true for that. And so there's a couple of things that are coming up. I know we're coming close to time, but just if you can share, why is it so important for us to continue to play and continue to awaken that wisdom within us?
The world is changing all the time. It's complicated. It's very demanding, and we have all sorts of conflicting dreams, conflicting realities that push us different ways. And if we don't stop and either play a little bit or have some introspection time, whether it's through walking or through drawing or journaling or through a variety of ways, then the insights and the messages that we have from our own bodies and selves just don't have a chance to come through. And so playing is a very rich part of our life that we tend to see as an extra, but really it's part of the foundation of what our soul, our spirit, our inner selves, many people call it different things, what we are here to do. Why are we born? Why are we here to experience this life? And those are super big questions, but how do we want to experience it is really a question that we can answer. Maybe we did never get to answer why am I here, but we can say, I really want to live or experience this while I'm here. And to take that first step and even figure what that is, it's through play. It's through time with yourself, playing.
Wonderful. And I'm so glad that you brought that up to share with the world, because I feel that is such an essential piece to having a vibrant life and enjoying ourselves in this human experience. So thank you for that wisdom, Louise. And
You're welcome.
And we're going to take a quick break. So that's Louise Lalande, and we're sharing play. So go play for a few moments, and coming up on Heart Matters, we are going to talk a little more about play and how we can integrate that into our lives. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Your Heart Matters. And earlier we were discussing with Louise Lalande about how essential play is in our lives. And now we're going to continue the discussion in integrating play into our lives and what that is going to look like for us when we stop and play. So Louise, go ahead.
Well, play is so different for everyone. The secret is trying different things. As children, we just explore all the time, and that comes so naturally. We're curious to find out what the world has to offer. And then all of a sudden, through numerous things in life, we get focused and we become adults. And there is a real need for that. We do need to be responsible about certain things, but we also have a responsibility to ourselves and to the world, to our children, to the generations to come, to really be responsible in a different way, and to be creating a world that is going to be a healthy place and a wonderful place to live on many different levels. And so while we do this very responsible aspect and work at things, we also have to be fed somehow, to be inspired, to enjoy life. Like, why do all of this work if there's really no fun in it in the end? So it's important to take the balance of a portion of the time to be inspired about life and about the future and hope. And for different people, it comes different ways. Some people love to take trips. Some people love to go to the beach. Some people love to read. There's music. There are so many different ways of playing. So we have to be in touch with what is the thing that attracts us, or the things. What kind of magazines do we read? What kind of movies do we watch? What are the things that tend to make us happy and therefore inspire us? And then go and try and play with some other people, whether it's through workshops or other ways. What I have found for myself is the art world is just an endless opportunity for me to be exploring what I feel about things. And I don't go about making a doll or making a pottery dish. Okay, my question of the world is this, or I'm here to play. And I'm going to play whether I want to or not. No, that's not at all it. It's really being able to relax in the moment. And the creative process is quite complete. In fact, it does start with an idea that gets sparked and the willingness to engage yourself. And then as it goes through processes, you actually need to just let go of all of the ideas and let them sit for a while, and then to pick it up again. And the creating of the piece, whether it's a painting, a song, or a poem, or whatever it is really just the end, the manifestation of all of that process. For me, that whole process is play.
Right.
For some people, it's like playing basketball. It just is. So go out and dare to find what it is that makes you feel alive. And in turn, that is what will create more energy in your life and more hope, and you will affect those around you to go out and discover the same for themselves.
That's wonderful. So it sounds like a whole discovery of oneself, and the process is all about being in the moment, because a lot of the times we are so attached to the outcome.
Absolutely.
So, and your journey has always been about the process. So if there is another gem of a wisdom from Louise Lalande that you want to give to the world and share to the world, what would that be?
Stop and smell the roses.
Just
stop and be. And I do stop and smell the roses, literally.
Yes.
But for whatever the roses are for you, just take some time to slow down and to really look around you and assess what is this, what is the beauty, and what does this minute hold for me? And I think many of us are a little scared to really stop, because there's a flood of different feelings. But as you get to practice to really stop, you just revel in those moments, and you get so much more out of life by slowing down a little bit. So it's a little bit of a paradox.
Right.
It's not if you do more, you get more done. It's if you slow down a little, you'll not only get more done, but you'll actually get more things that are meaningful done, because you have a chance to prioritize what's meaningful to you in those moments of peace.
Well said, Louise. So thank you so much for being here with me today on Heart Matters. You shared such an important message to our world, and I hope that the rest of the world just goes out and continue to stop, be, and play. So to take that moment. So thank you for sharing that with us.
And thank you for having me. It's been a real pleasure, Visheka.
That's all the time that we have for today with Louise Lalande on Heart Matters. Thank you for joining us, and Check out our website at visheka.com, as well as check out Louise at cocreations.net and Spirited Women Collaborative at spiritedwomen.ca. Thank you for joining us again.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line at 613-759-8622 or email us your comments.